HoneyBunTv.
You making me wanna spend this money, gorgeous, all on you, girl.
Hey honey buns, and what is up? Today we are going to be making a two-piece set with this fabric cut that I got from Wally World. So let's really get into how to achieve this look. The first thing that you are going to do is fold your fabric hot dog style, not hamburger style. And you know a hot dog is long and lengthy, so your fabric should be long and lengthy. Once you fold your fabric over the hot dog way, you are going to cut it down the middle. After cutting your fabric down the middle, you should have two pieces of fabric. I like to do it this way because I get the most out of my fabric by doing so. Once I pick one of those two pieces of fabric, I'm literally going to fold it over again, as you can see me doing here. And then I am going to start with cutting out my top half portion. So when I say top half portion, I'm talking about my shoulder, bust, waist, and hips. And this is going to be long sleeves, so we are just going to start with cutting out that portion. If you don't want long sleeves, you don't have to cut sleeves for this, but this is going to be just that. Now, the fabric is on fold, so I'm just going to cut two pieces because, like I said, it's on fold, so you need a piece for the front and the back. And after we finish doing that, we are just going to cut out a long piece of fabric, which I will list the dimensions below for your collar portion. If you don't want to do a collar, perfectly fine, but we are doing a collar. Now, as you can see me here doing, like I said, I like to cut out all my fabric first. Of course, I like to start with my top half and then go to the bottom. But we are doing shorts. And with shorts, you need a waistband. Me personally, I think that. So now I'm just cutting my waistbands, and the measurements are also listed below. And we are going to put that to the side. I have already went ahead and cut out my sleeves. And because I've already went ahead and cut out my sleeves, we are just going to cut out a cuff. If you don't want that cuff at the ends of your sleeve, like how they have on the jackets, the little zip ups, whoop whoop, all you have to do is hem the bottom of your sleeve. Perfect. But I want a cuff. So what you have to do is find the circumference of your wrist and then think about how wide do you want your cuff, and then go ahead and cut. I went ahead and cut my shorts off camera because it is the same method. So what we are going to get ready and do now is literally just sew them down and sew everything else. So if this was any other type of fabric, we would basically be placing the right sides towards each other so the seam can be on the inside. But because this fabric looks the same inside and out on both sides, it does not matter how we do that. So, as you can see, I was gliding my finger down. That is where you are going to sew, because that is where your behind is going to sit and other pieces to you. Now, you have two pieces. I'm just placing the second piece on top as if the front, like we cut earlier, our front and back. And now we are going to place the seams. You see that middle portion right there that I'm showing you? We're going to place them on top of each other, and we are going to sew where you see my finger gliding. So we are going to sew one half down, and then we're going to sew the other half just like I showed you, and then we are going to sew the sides. Now that we have sewed half and half, that's what your shorts should look like. And now we are going to sew the sides on each side. These are how your shorts are going to look, and they're going to start forming. But now one side I have already hemmed up, so you're just going to go ahead and hem the other portion to it. In the same way that we have done the shorts, literally by placing them side by side, seam on top of seam, we are going to do the same thing with the shirt portion. The only thing is we'll need to connect the shoulder points, which you can see me doing here, and then we will connect the sides, which you can see me literally gliding my fingers down, because obviously you got an armhole and it needs to have an armhole to go through. As you can see me here doing now, that's why I froze it. So once you see this armhole, you're going to take your sleeve, which mine is not sewn down on the sides yet, but you are going to place your seam on the inside. Oh, I said seam, sleeve on the inside, and literally sew around as in a circle. So I'm opening the sleeve up, I'm sewing it around on in a circular way. And just take your time to guide it through the sewing machine and to cut off all the excess thread. So this is what your shirt should be looking like. After that, we are just going to go ahead and we are going to attach the collar, which on the sides, you can see me just pinning them together right here. So once you see that collar portion, which the dimensions are listed below, you're literally just going to sew. Sew right on the sides, and you are going to leave the bottom open. And this is me just cutting the excess fabric off. You are going to open it up, and your seam is now going to be on the inside. But you're going to fold it over so your seam can be facing the outside, so it can be easy for you to attach on your shirt. So you're just going to attach that collar around the opening part where your neck is, as you can see me here doing, and sew around in a circle. So you see the opening where your head would go through and where your neck will be. You're just going to sew around that. You're not going to sew it to close it. You're going to sew around that to create this collar. This is the same method with the portion to add on your bottom of your sleeve. So I have already went ahead and sewn the sides. My sleeve is a little bit big. I don't know how that happened. I cut too much. But it is the same method in the same way as we did the collar. So you're just literally going to fold over and sew down that side and attach it to your collar. And as stated before, this section is optional. You do not have to put a zipper on there, but I just wanted to put a zipper to be extra. And if you don't know how to attach a zipper to any of your clothing, I do have a video provided so you can see that. And I am just going up in this section to attach my collar. I said a collar, my zipper. And you are going to open that zipper up so it can be easy to glide through your sewing machine. And then you are going to place it down under the fabric and sew that literally on top. And you are just going to do each side, of course, because you want them to be connected. And you're going to take your time. And this is how it should come out. See you, honey buns, and next week on HoneyBunTv. Mwah!